Welcome back. This is episode 3 of This Podcast Can Be Used Against You. My name is David Austin.
And my name's Stephen Lambert. I had somebody ask me about that.
That your name is Stephen Lambert?
Yeah, if it was Steve or Stephen. And I said David likes to call me Stephen.
I do. I like to call you Stephen.
Yes.
It seems formal. You know what I mean?
It does.
And you're a pretty informal guy.
I am.
So it's fun to formalize you a little bit.
And that was part of my argument. We can get to that later. I should let you finish your intro.
Well, that's it.
Okay, perfect.
Once we start talking, we're talking. And that's all there is to it.
Intro, be gone.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
This podcast Can Be Used Against You is basically our unfiltered, really non-business podcast.
Yes, exactly. That sums it up perfectly.
I don't know what it means.
That's how I've described it to people. What exactly do you talk about? And I was like, well, nothing in particular, but very specifically on some things.
Right. That's exactly right. And when you're awake, you're awake.
You're awake. And again, Betty Crocker, we can still change this to bake a cake. Just saying.
I do love our theme song.
I think
it's great.
It is fun. I've had people request it since we've started using it.
Well, there you go. And this is kind of an edited down version of it because I went straight to the hook. Yep. I gave the lead singer a little bit of thing.
A little bit of love.
That's exactly right. And then bam, right to the hook.
Cut him out.
That's exactly right.
Just chopped him at the knees.
There you go. There you go. So the holidays we're in full holiday swing. We had Thanksgiving a week ago.
Yes.
Christmas is 3.5 weeks away. Can you believe that?
No, it's so close. I couldn't believe it before I went to when I went to Costco before Halloween and they were playing Christmas music.
Yeah,
that
weird.
Freaked me out.
Weird. I think it's weird.
I was just full on freak out. I walk in, I was like, the hell is going on around
and
here?
All of the shoppers in the world were at Costco the entire pre-Thanksgiving thing.
Buying Christmas items.
Yeah, buying Christmas items, for sure.
Weird to me. It's so weird to me.
It is weird.
Huh. But it's kind of, I think it's because Costco has so much inventory to move.
I gotcha.
And I think especially this year, shoppers are taking their time a little bit. They're kind of like, all right. They're kind of picking and choosing a little bit more.
Sure. Yeah.
Costco probably bought a little extra, got some extra deals maybe, some vendors wanting to move some stuff. Maybe we're lucky we didn't hear it in July.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I don't really understand Costco. I've been a Costco member for years and years and years and years, but you never know what they're going to have.
It's kind of the beauty in it.
If you're looking for a grill, maybe Costco, maybe not.
Exactly. You got to know what you're looking. You have to kind of know what you want to buy and what you're looking for. How many times? One of the most dangerous parts of my life when I lived about 2 blocks away from Costco, just over in Fountain Hills.
Right.
Super dangerous time. I'd be like, I'm just going to run over to Costco. Who says that?
No one.
Who runs over to Costco?
No one runs to Costco, and you never get out for less than $100. Never.
Exactly. It's like when I used to have a Harley. I used to call it HD. Every time you walk in the store, it's $100. That's what right. The HD acronym is for. But Costco's very, very similar. I'd walk in there. I'm like, oh, you know what? Hey, we're out of Prego for spaghetti or something, right? I'll just run over to Costco
and buy 4 crates of it.
Exactly, right? What did you come home with? Oh, they're backing the pallet up now. I got enough pasta I got pasta that's going to last us for the next 4 years, man. It's great. No, but I mean, just budget-wise, horrible place to be.
Fun, though. Fun. And here's when you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there on Sunday because everybody's eating free food there. They've got all of these testers out selling their wares, and they're getting actually pretty good at the shtick.
And they're giving you better portions.
They are. But I don't appreciate. I don't want to be there for that because no thank you. I would like to buy my food from a food service vendor, be waited on maybe, but I don't want somebody in a hairnet to hand me just a, have this.
It's true. It's like they are, and the shtick can be aggressive sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been there lately?
Recently, very recently.
There's a dude that's selling like these power bar things or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's literally yelling to people when they walk by, "What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Give this a try." I'm like, buddy, dude,
I feel like
wow.
I feel like there are a bunch of carnival barkers.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's a good analogy.
And that to me freaks me out whenever I go to a carnival. Hey, you want to play you want a free goldfish? You can play the goldfish game. And I'm kind of doing that voice because he has none of these front teeth.
No, they're not there.
They're not there.
They're not there.
You
know, how do you think? So this got me to thinking because last week, you said it's like a holiday. I took a little vacation time, little R&R.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about things.
Okay.
Not work related, just life things. Things that I found funny and fascinating. British humor and comedy. And this isn't a slam against our British friends at all. And this all ties into the show Outlander, which I've been watching. Which
right.
is just so you can. Anyways, all ties together. But I was watching this British comedy show. It's called like Lon and Ron. Anyways, it was super funny. There's these two sisters, and they sing about everything. Everything is a song to them. And they do this comedy with a completely straight face. And I thought, my God, how do they do that? But it's very British of them. Super proper, because the British, even if something is like just flat out loud, you're like dying crying on the ground, they'll be like, And so I'm thinking about Costco in Britain and the food pushers, because they are like carnival barkers.
Hello.
Right? It would be so much more formal. How would they do that? They would tap you on the shoulder as you walk by.
Pardon me, sir.
Yes, would you like to try this power bar? No, that's quite all right. Okay. I mean, they just like, where do they go with that? Anyways, I don't know why. It just kind of came to my mind because it was just, they're so, they're just that way. When I was in Hawaii, and their flag reminds me of the British flag.
Oh, does it? Mm-hmm. Which island were you at?
Kauai.
Okay, beautiful. Black
the
beaches.
Garden Isle,
Yes.
And the I'm going to look up the Hawaiian flag here. Because it does. See? It's got like a British element.
It sure does. Why have I not seen that before?
It's pretty cool, right?
Right?
It's cool, man. It's cool. Exactly. And that's exactly what the guy sounded like that we rented the boogie boards from. Yeah, exactly. Do I have to return these? Like today? No, like ever. Let me check.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't even know where I am right now.
I'm fully stoned and boogie board says boogie in it. That's cool.
Right? And he's like, what are you here for again? And you're like, never mind. I'll just walk out the door, bring him back when I'm done.
That's right.
Perfect, man. Shaka. Right?
Right.
So it was super fun though. It was a good time. And, yeah, and so that just made me think of the British because.
And were you there for a week?
Yeah, for a week.
That's fun.
Super fun.
Yeah,
yeah, it was great.
My last vacation was 3 years. It was awesome.
I love that. You covered a lot of ground too. You're like boop boop boop. I was like track David on the map.
Yes.
It's like where's he going next? You had fun though. You had a good time.
Awesome time.
Really
Really
in Florida for a while.
Did Florida for a year. Thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you my rundown on Florida. Most of the people are not from Florida.
Okay, right.
A lot of the people are from the Northeast.
Okay.
From cold weather states.
Yeah. Okay.
And those people have no time to stop and talk to you. They are not interested because at any moment a cold front could come through and they'll miss their cab. So those people are not fun to hang out with, right? So there was a lot of that.
Interesting.
When we were there.
Well, my understanding of it was that it is a lot of people from like the Northeast.
Oh, sure.
That retire there. It's kind of like
right.
the East Coast version of sort of like California or Hawaii. If
That's right. That's right. So what I would tell you is if you had personal connections with people, lovely. Which we have some family there, so that was nice.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, my dad lived about 3 hours south of us, so that was fun.
Oh, nice.
But the neighbors and the people in the neighborhood, not super friendly, not outgoing like most Southerners are. Southerners typically are loosey-goosey with time.
Yeah, super
because
nice.
They're not uncomfortable outside. The weather's not inclement. Right. So you walk around in a town in the South, and typically everybody's friendly. They're dying to talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
And Florida's not that way.
Interesting. Because I found North Carolina, South Carolina very much that way.
Yep.
Go to the Waffle House.
Yep.
Shout out to Waffle House. Everybody's super friendly. They're all chatting. It's like you went into a small cafe. It's the only chain I've ever been in where you feel like you're walking into a mom and pop.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways.
Waffle House. It's like a truck stop bathroom that sells waffles.
I had to get a visual there really quick, and I'm still working on it. Now that you put it that way, maybe it's not so mom and pop.
Well, I like Waffle House because they call back your order, and they're saying all kinds of fun stuff like smothered and covered and all that stuff. Yeah. Love that.
It makes you feel excited about your food.
It really does. I love Waffle House. Londa's not a fan.
Really?
Yeah, not a fan.
Well, I mean, the food's okay.
She's always gotten sick after Waffle House.
Okay, and I can see that. It's kind of heavy. It can be greasy.
I guess, yeah.
And maybe all the excitement is what they do to build it up till you don't feel bad about the food you're about to eat.
I guess, yeah.
Maybe you sit there and you're like, oh, it's kind of not great, but I don't want to be a dick and sound like, yeah, it's awesome, right? Because everybody's like, yeah. Everybody's thinking inside they're all throwing up.
And why is Waffle House wet everywhere? It's just wet. The floor's soaking wet. What happened? It's a truck stop bathroom where they sell waffles.
You're so right. You're so right. You're so right. So on the plane flying over, and this has nothing to do with Waffle House, but it does have to do with food. So I'm on this. So on the flight, it's a 6-hour flight from Seattle to Kauai, right?
Sure.
So this guy's sitting next to me, super nice guy, nice stuff, but he was very. He reminded me of kind of like the rush in a cab, New Yorker kind of person.
I gotcha.
Right. Came across as he was very sort of OCD. His wife was sitting in front of him. They were passing things back and forth, and they were very OCD about how they were talking about things. It was just bizarre.
Okay.
It was really weird.
Okay.
Because you know me, I'm super low key and laid back. I'm like, what's up? Da, da, da. And he's got I don't know. It was interesting. So I'm being super polite and extra nice to him because I realized he was maybe nervous about flying. He was really tense. And so his wife, they were passing things through the arms to each other to his tray, and he would pass things back to her. Well, he's sitting there reading one time, and apparently they failed to do their signals. I don't know if they were 94 Omaha, right? Coffee coming back or whatever.
Kill.
Whatever it was, yeah, exactly. Time out. Because she came around with her arm, just boom, perfectly executed, smashed into the coffee, boom, right down, all over his tray and into my shoe.
What?
Just one shoe.
Was your shoe on?
Yeah, my shoe was on.
It went right into your shoe.
Yeah, shout out to the Ultra Range Vans, super meshy, which means my socks got full of coffee. So I'm sitting there, I'm just listening to music, and I'm kind of spacing out. I've got my eyes closed, and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, oh, dude, that's kind of warm. What the heck? And I look, and there's a guy's oh, there's coffee everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, it's in my shoe too. And he's like, I'm really sorry. I'm like, no, you're covered in it. But it was the weirdest thing because
you were next to him?
Yeah. So yeah, it was so we had 2 seats here and then 2 seats in the row behind us and a 3-seater. So I was in the middle. He was in the aisle and his wife was in the aisle. We were so they were kind of.
I gotcha. So when she would reach back, there you go. I see.
It was the weirdest little thing they had going on. But then the rest of the flight, anytime she reached back, she did this huge prep and check and everything. Do we have clearance? Is everything okay? Am I good? This poor guy, he's got coffee welled up on because he's wearing his loafers. He's got coffee on shorts with loafers. He has his loafers, right? That's a whole
socks as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, spectacular!
Short ones though, with little ankle things,
little pom poms, little ankly pom poms.
What the hell, man? See, this is so you can see sitting next to me, I'm just sitting there I don't know how this is going to work, man. I don't know if I can be your roommate.
How did the guy talk? I'm dying to hear your accent for this guy.
Ned Flanders.
Okay. Heidi ho, neighbor.
Yes. And his wife, same way. And I was this is so weird to me because I was I could never see my life that way. I'd be how, no. I'm sure people look at me and they're I have no freaking idea how you do what you do. But that's, that's kind of how I go. But, yeah, it was kind of interesting, though. That just is the whole, but it tied into the Waffle House a little bit with the coffee.
Sure, coffee everywhere. So, everything's wet at Waffle House.
Yep.
Just like your socks. Wet at Waffle House.
Wet at Waffle House.
It seems to be something warm on my foot.
Yeah. Just caught me so off guard. I was we were halfway through. I was super excited. So I was what wonder if my foot's going to dry out or if I'm going to squish around in like a squishy coffee sock the rest of the day.
Having wet socks is miserable. On Thanksgiving, we went to Peter's house. He's Londa's oldest son.
Okay.
So we went to Peter's house, and they are a shoes-off house. Mm-hmm. And I get it. People have shoes-off houses and shoes-on houses. I choose to have a shoes-on house because, if the floor can't keep up with my feet, there's something wrong with the house.
100%. You know I got you. We tried the shoes-off thing. It failed miserably.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm polite, so I take my shoes off at the door. I step on the interior mat and wet sock.
Oh,
the kids had been out playing and everything and had wet socks, I guess. And so the mat was, that's an awful feeling, by the way.
Because it feels gross because you're like, I don't know where this came from.
Right.
I don't know exactly what it is. Where's the dogs?
Right.
First thing you think is, where's the dogs?
Right.
Because you're like, I don't,
Wet sock.
Yeah. And you don't know where.
The worst.
You want to get it off. You want to just take it off. So you're like, I'm going to be super polite and just go barefoot. And
yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah,
we don't want
socks,
your bare
please.
Feet.
Socks, please.
Like, they're wet.
And nobody wants to see my barefoot because I have hooves. It's like a horse. It's true. I go to a farrier.
I'm a horse. I go to a farrier. That's awesome. Ties into Outlander.
That's exactly right.
I don't know why we're so about this show right now. I'm almost done with it. It's fascinating to me, the whole idea of time travel.
Claire's attractive.
She is.
She's a sharp looking lady.
That dude is sitting there back in the 40s when he first met her, and he's like, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Did. Because your skin is so beautiful. Yeah, because she has a nighttime routine. She's oil Olay and all this other crap you guys don't have. And she doesn't have to fight for her life every 5 seconds. And she sleeps in a place that has running water and dental care and health care.
And she's a doctor, so she knows how to heal people.
Right. And she's a healer.
What is this modern thing you're doing?
Exactly.
What?
And they always give her a hard time, too. They're like, get out of the way. She's like, I'm a surgeon. I'm a healer. And they're like... and she has to be careful not to screw with the future, right?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Because they can't
You can't blow up the space-time continuum.
No. Matter of fact, I just finished the one where she goes, that's George Washington. And he goes, I grew up in... Where'd he grow up? Virginia.
Yeah.
And
with his slave teeth.
Right, yes. And she sits there and she goes, and you chopped down cherry trees as a child. And he's like, looking at her like, huh? And she's like, oh, that's a saying that they say about kids growing up. Blah, blah, and they walk away really fast.
Oh, because she had to get out of there.
She had to cover it up, right?
Yeah.
She shouldn't be like, oh my God, you're on the dollar bills, dude. You should see all this crazy stuff. There's this university after you. You're going to become president. People flying to the moon. All kinds of stuff going on. They'd be like, what is this lunatic?
What's the deal with the eye floating over the pyramid, George?
Right? Who designed that? What the hell were you guys smoking? Right? It's like, seriously, no. Like, to me, to be able to go back and forth, like, that'd be so trippy. It'd be stressful to go back to that time.
Oh, sure.
Super violent, at least according to that show.
Well, absolutely
crazy
super
violent. Like, you couldn't trust anybody at all. Like, barely anybody. I could see why these families had, like,
1700s Scotland. Thank you.
Think it would be a somewhat friendly place.
Nope. No.
Had a lot of whiskey.
That's
Probably
right.
Decent whiskey.
Yep.
Super drunk, and then kill people.
That's exactly right. And maybe you're part of the rebellion. Who knows?
Nobody knows. Nobody
Suck
trusts
it,
anybody.
imperialism. We're not interested in you.
I love, the redcoats were assholes. I'll tell you though, man, it's a trip when you think about that. And then I'm watching the show and they're over there like, oh, we're in the Americas. And then I forget at that point in time, it's not the United States of America. It's still under British rule, right?
Right.
So they're doing these things. They're like sitting there at a bar or rest, whatever they are in like Virginia or wherever the hell they are. And the redcoats come in to arrest them, and I'm like, why are they there? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. History 101, Lambert. Like, we weren't the United States yet. But you kind of forget about that period of time where the British were cruising around trying to make a mini Britland.
Everything
Europe.
Was supposed to be Great Britain.
Yeah.
That was their goal.
Yeah. What was with the Whigs, though?
Actually, the Whigs were financial status.
Oh.
When you say somebody's a bigwig,
that's where it came from.
That came from that, because people would wear these giant wigs, and that was, the richer you were, the more ridiculous your wig was. If you were just a normal dude, you had the little short flat wig that, looked ridiculous.
Yeah, you had the little teeny ones that everybody had then.
That's right. And I think it actually originated in France.
Really?
And then
it
went
just
like
took off.
Wildfire.
Well, the French, very fashion forward.
Very fashion forward.
Everybody likes the French fashion, right? I mean,
and their food is delightful.
Very delightful.
Very delightful.
Scottish food, not so much, maybe. So
no, who wants haggis? Not me.
Oh God, no.
But
exactly.
Haggis? No thanks.
Haggis.
Haggis? No
present.
Thanks.
No, not present. Not present.
Caitlin, you want some haggis?
Yeah, right? Not going to happen. So, in I Married an Axe Murderer, when he refers to the size of his head,
heed.
It's so gigantic. Is that a sign of status? Like a bigwig.
That's hilarious.
Like a bigwig.
That's good.
Heed. My God, look at the size.
Look at the size of that melon.
It's like its own solar system. Dude, that was awesome. But the wigs were interesting to me because they're like, I was like, why don't you guys just comb your hair or whatever?
Puff it up.
They do this whole thing and they all show up in their wigs and all that. It reminded me of Hunger Games, the capital city versus the suburbs or whatever.
Speaking of Hunger Games, I went to see the new one the day after Thanksgiving with Caitlin. Caitlin was in town, and we went to see Hunger Games. Londa said, even though she had no backstory because she hadn't seen the other ones or read
right, because these
books.
Are prequels. Or
yeah, this is a prequel.
Okay,
she said it stood alone, and she was fine. She didn't feel like she missed out on anything.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, the acting, not the best. I'll be honest, not the best acting. However, really fun. And if you're a fan of the book series, which I'm a fan of the book series, I loved it. Loved it. I haven't read this book, though, the prequel book. I haven't read it.
I haven't. But I want to see the movie.
I read all the rest of them. I haven't read this one. I want to call it The Song of Fire and Ice, but that's not right. That's Game of Thrones.
Let's see. What is the name of the latest, the newest, what did we say, Hunger Games? Oh, Hugo Boss. Again, Steve's spelling problem issue.
Newest Hunger Boss. Okay.
I was thinking
Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Why did I put Hunger? So I was thinking of Hugo Boss because I typed in HUG and it brought up Hugo Boss. So Hunger Boss.
That's right. Hunger Boss.
What the hell is that?
So I really liked the movie. I thought it was good. Londa liked the male star that played Snow. You know, Snow, the bad guy that in the original movies was played by Donald Sutherland.
Yes.
Well, the kid version of Donald Sutherland is in this movie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And he does have a full Darth Vader transformation, which is great. Best part of the movie when he went full Darth Vader.
Hunter Schafer?
I think so.
Okay.
Blonde kid.
What the hell is that?
No, that's a girl.
That's
not Peter Dinklage, but he was in it too.
Really struggling today on
there he is,
things.
that kid.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, they did a good job. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Right on.
I enjoyed it.
I like that.
I thought it was a fun movie. Good to see more of that dystopian place that they were at, Panem.
Panem. I know. It's kind of cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I think of when I think of the Redcoats.
Okay.
I feel like the Redcoats would be the future Panem.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean? If they cruised around. They were super colorful. And were their uniforms really that clean all the time?
I think not. No.
And do you notice, too, when you watch that stuff, mess up their teeth? Come on. Are you kidding me?
Really, right? And if George
smiles,
Washington didn't have the most ridiculous teeth ever, that's terrible casting because famously his teeth...
The smile's great.
He had a little wood there for the gum line. He had some donkey teeth in there and then teeth of his best slaves.
Oh, my gosh.
Founder of our country.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Jedediah, come over here. I want to look in your mouth.
Let me borrow 5 of those.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
That's insane.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I could see how the donkey teeth didn't work out.
And the teeth are on display at his home right now. When you go do the tour, you can see the slave wood donkey teeth.
That's horrible. Especially when you look at this. Like, could you imagine having those in your mouth?
Well, I think more shocking is the slave teeth.
Oh, I agree. I agree. That is like, I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. George Washington teeth. Let's look this up and see. Oh.
Trouble with teeth. Uh-oh.
Is that?
Uh-oh.
Is that the one?
Well, click it.
Okay.
It's from Mount Vernon.
Oh, so that's got to be, what is that?
Were George Washington's dentures really made of wood? Fact.
Oh, my God, look at these.
And fiction.
Interesting. He was afflicted with dental troubles his whole life. Okay.
Sure, yes.
George they were not made of wood. They were made of what? Okay. Partial dentures, including human and probably cow and horse teeth, ivory, lead, tin alloy, copper alloy, and silver alloy. Gosh,
I love how they just gloss over some human teeth.
Right. Yes, they didn't get into that, did they? No, they didn't get into that. They should have, right?
Well, that is...
Okay, we're getting there. He bought human teeth from African Americans. Yep, there it is. Account books, and in which an entry details the purchase of 9 teeth for 122 shillings. Whether teeth were provided by the Mount Vernon enslaved persons was simply being sold to a dentist, or whether they were intended for George Washington, unknown at this time.
Oh, history says it's known.
History says it's known. Screw you, Mount Vernon. You're wrong.
Well, they actually, at Mount Vernon, you can see the history of the teeth.
That's cool, though.
And there they are. And I say put that at the front end of the tour, not the back end of the tour.
Right. Let people know that.
Right.
Let people know that. That was a weird time.
Slavery is nothing new. It's been around for thousands of years.
No, but we didn't need to do that.
Oh, we shouldn't have done it ever.
You
know what I mean?
Don't need to.
And to enslave anyone is crazy
100%,
talk.
100%. Anybody,
you know what I mean?
Anybody. No, like you said, it's been around for thousands of years. I just don't get it.
I think it's been around since the beginning of time. The stronger people pushed the weaker people into servitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's terrible.
Yeah,
That's not fun.
Cool. It's not fun.
No.
It's not fun.
Nope.
I mean, if we were in that day and age, you're considerably larger than me.
Oh, you'd be working
I'd be working for you. Come here, wee little lad.
Stephen.
Dude, call me Steve.
Fetch my Hassan Pfeffer.
What the hell is that? Don't make me do it. Oh, God. Oh, we got to do a quick shout out. I took a note here.
Okay.
To Mr. Chad in Arizona, who's been listening to our podcast. He gives feedback each time, and he said, please give a shout out to Arizona. So there you go, AZ.
Way to go, Arizona.
Way to go, Arizona.
Everybody likes Arizona.
65 degrees there today.
Yeah. Nice. Arctic chill for Arizona, 65.
Brr.
Yeah.
Gonna have to put socks on and maybe wear a light coat.
You know what I'll do? I'll put socks on with my loafers.
And spill coffee all over the dude next to me while wearing shorts.
Heidi ho, neighbor.
Exactly. So the first time I saw shorts and loafers, I was in LaGuardia Airport.
Okay.
And I saw a dude coming. I was on the escalator, and he was walking from the top, like to go on. I'm on the up, and he's on the down one. I see this guy coming across all these people because I'm like looking at the signs. And this guy's like, and he's in a tie, and he's got his jacket on, blazer, looks super nice. Turns the corner, gets on the escalator, shorts and loafers. I was like, the hell is that? Like, who does that? Like, why do you have the tie on still, dude? I'm like, what are you doing? This was not COVID. This wasn't like work at home, just be seen from the top with Zoom, whatever. No, none of that.
Maybe he was a television anchorman, and so he had his business top and party bottom.
Shorts and loafers. Not a party bottom. I was dying, though. I saw that the first time, and I was like, dude, what is that? And then somebody told me, like, on the East Coast, apparently, like, wearing your loafers is a pretty common thing, pretty casual.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't see it the rest of the time.
With socks and shorts.
Yeah.
That's somebody's dad. Somebody's dad made that choice, and no one was there. Mom was out of town. Mm-hmm. No one was there to say, no, honey.
Couldn't fix it.
No, that's not for you.
Yeah, it's super wrong, actually. It should never happen.
You know what else is just as bad and offensive that we see here in the Pacific Northwest?
Oh, God. I know where you're going.
Socks and sandals Why are you wearing socks with your sandals, fella?
Right? You can't do that.
It's wrong.
I'll see somebody sitting there and they've got their Birkenstocks on or whatever, and it's like 12 degrees outside, a foot of snow, and they're wearing socks with their Birkenstocks. And I'm like, no.
It's terrible.
I'm like, there's no point at that point.
Right.
It's like, just stop.
Go
out with them barefoot or put on something else.
Oh, right. Or let's say you're at home, maybe in the hot tub. Let's picture it in the hot tub at home. Picture this. You're relaxed in the hot tub, having a lovely experience. And all of a sudden, someone says, we're out of Dom Perignon. Can you run to the store? So you jump out of the hot tub.
Right.
You don't have time to get fully dressed, but you throw some socks and sandals on and run to the store. The guy running to the store is the only guy who should ever have on socks and sandals. And the only reason he had socks and sandals is because his socks were next to the hot tub because he disrobed outside.
Yes.
And he needed footwear to go into the store. So he grabbed his slides, which were by the front door on his way out, because they're a shoeless house.
Okay. And he was trying to keep his socks somewhat dry.
That's exactly right.
So that could work. There, in that scenario, that works. So if you say that it says, yes, you can wear loafers with shorts, they can add an elegant yet casual touch to any outfit.
No. I say nay.
I agree. I'm nay on that.
Super nay.
Yeah. Let's see about Birkenstocks with socks.
And that's no bueno.
Is it a good look? I'm just leaving this up to the internet to guide us. Sure. No, this is horrible. This is actually encouraging this behavior, especially in the Pacific Northwest and Europe. Of course. Oh, sure, of course. No. Why? Like, really? No. Yeah, this is a better answer. It depends. It should. Yeah, no, it's not.
I wouldn't recommend wearing them, but if you have foot disease, you should cover those things.
I agree. I grew up in Oregon, so I definitely agree with this fashion style.
I've been a granola
since the 90s.
Okay.
Most of the rest of society will laugh. Yes, they will.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand.
It's not a good look. It's not good. I have a pair of shoes that I call shoondles because they're sandals that are also shoes, and you can wear them in the water. They're yeah.
What do they look like?
They look like sandals, but they have an enclosed toe.
Okay, like a croc.
No, like a Pacific Northwest water / hiking shoe.
Okay. I think I get where you're coming from.
And I call them shoondles.
Okay, I was going to say they didn't have that name. I'm sure
I just
gave
call
them
them
that.
shoondles.
I like that.
Anyway,
I
like them. Cannot wear socks with them, though.
Yeah.
Because they're sandals. They do have an enclosed toe. So if you're boating and you have to hike right after your boat,
okay,
then fine. Then you're okay with the shoondles.
So you don't hurt yourself, but they breathe and they let water in and out.
That's exactly right. You can wear them in the water.
That's great. See, I like that. See, that to me, yeah, that's a no sock zone.
But no socks. Because then you've got wet, sloshy socks. What the hell, people?
Those same British comedians I told you that did the songs, they sat there and they were talking about who was welcome at their show. And they said if you were wearing Crocs, that they wanted you to go outside and ponder what you've done to yourself and what you, and
let me tell you something. My brother Nathan loves his Crocs.
Oh, I know.
I can't wear them. My feet aren't 16 feet wide. They're the widest shoe ever.
Gigantically wide. I tried them on. I was like, oh, these feel nice on my feet and all that. But no.
No, for sure no. And
what about clogs, like little Danish clogs?
You know what? Made of wood. You should do it. I'm all for it. You get a pair. Yes. I say yes.
How would they be comfortable? You can't bend in those. You're constantly sliding. It's like, I don't get it. And I don't get it.
Hey, you know what's really comfortable? Clogs. Why don't we make them rubber? And then we can wear them everywhere. We'll make some work rubber shoes. We'll get some stuff to decorate the work rubber shoes. That's Crocs. I'm telling you, it's the weirdest thing in the world. I don't like them at all.
And I don't know. They try. I felt like they tried for a long time, and then somewhere, somehow, all of a sudden, they became the rage here in this last like 3 years.
Nurses wear them. I mean, what is going on? They have non-slip soles, so you can wear them working in a restaurant. So you see chefs wearing clogs.
That used to be Doc Martin's domain. Remember that?
It absolutely
Doc Martin was the choice of
That's
every
right.
musician. I mean, not musician, but well, yes, every
chef?
musician, chef, waiter in LA and New York and Nashville.
That's right.
That was their shoe to wear.
That's exactly right. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Are you a waiter or are you a musician?
Both.
See, that's why I had that little slip right there. Couldn't tell.
Right.
I see the docs, dude. Come on, fess up.
Right.
Come on, fess up. Give me a burger and fess up.
Right.
All right, man.
That's right. I was a terrible waiter, and I was terrible because of my sense of balance.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, terrible. Carrying my tray. I only once broke a tray of like 15 champagne flutes. Crystal champagne flutes at the City Club of Lafayette.
That's not bad.
I have little petite mal seizures. Every now and then you've seen it, and you're like, oh, the chills. It's just like the chills.
Just like the chills.
So I'm walking with a tray of these champagne flutes, and all of a sudden, and I watch them in slow motion go up into the air.
How cool!
And spread apart, and then fall, and around my feet. It was spectacular.
Almost like snow flurries in the winter.
Literally,
like
yes.
in slow motion, very pretty.
If I were laying on the ground, I'd have gotten glass in my eye. It would have been terrible. But instead, I was standing.
And you got to watch it all. You got to stand there and watch it all happen.
Slow motion.
In slow motion.
And so they promoted me to head bartender.
He's been drinking on the job again. Just get him behind the bar where he can't cause any trouble.
Here's the thing. It's funny because I did get accused of drinking on the job once. And I said to Gassan, who was the manager of the City Club, I said, Gassan.
Reminds me of a Disney character name. Sorry. I said,
he said, David, I have a question for you. And I said, okay, Gassan, were you drinking in the waiter station? I said, Gassan, I'm the bartender and I'm allowed to have drinks behind my bar. So if I were going to drink, I'm not leaving my bar to go to the waiter station and drink. No, I'd mix something in a cup behind the bar that looks like Sprite and drink that. And no one would think a thing. And he goes, that is a very good point. And I said, thank you.
Thank you.
Took a sip of that cup that was behind the bar. It was not liquor, by the way. But took a sip of it and set it down. This has been a good meeting.
Well, that makes perfect sense. You're like, I don't need to leave.
Right.
I'm just testing it. I'm going to test it. Let's see if this mix tastes good. You know.
Why on earth would I go to the waiter station and pour myself a glass of white wine and drink it there?
No sense at all. Makes no sense at all.
Well, that waitress that alleged that I had done that probably drinks in the waiter station, and that's why she came up with that.
Yep, deflecting because she didn't want to get caught, or she didn't want to drink alone.
I don't know what was going on, but she was trying to flirt with me hard, and I had no interest.
She wanted you back in that waiter station.
I think so.
She was mad because you had no interest.
Yeah,
so she's going to get you in trouble.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Yeah,
she was angry at you.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we got some feedback on our wild dachshunds.
Okay.
From episode 2 there. Yeah.
Dislodging their hips so they can go.
No, just that they found it interesting that there were herds of them. There is no such thing.
Herds of there are
herds of wild dachshund.
There probably are somewhere.
I bet you. Let's see if there are. I don't know if they exist today, but historic do herds of mini dachshunds, right? Dachshunds. There, it's spelling it for me.
Yeah.
Exist. I think it says, are they working dogs?
We know they are.
What is this all about? 9 fun facts. Okay, well, we know about the hunting already. So nothing about herds. Right, no herds. Mm-mm. That's why which is too bad. That's why the forests were so scary, though. We talked going into that. So since you have wild dachshunds roaming around Germany, sure, theoretically, yes, hot dog. That's what people said. Got up there, walked out the forest, pat him, hot dog. Do you know about the chicken problem in Hawaii? I'd like to know all about it. All right, so in Kauai, cocks everywhere. Walking around, just cock-a-doodle-and-do every day, every morning. Those fuckers are loud. So we sit there. So 20 years ago or so, I'd have to fact check on that. I'm just going to say 20 because I like that number. Hurricane comes through, hits Kauai really hard. People that had chickens for eggs and stuff like that, of course, they all hunker down and their stuff blows up so chickens can wander all over the place. So what happens is there's these chickens now all over the island just going at, doing their thing and just multiplying. So now there's chickens all over the place. You go to the airport, you walk around, chicken, usually rooster and a hen, couple of hens just walking around.
Hanging out
everywhere. You go to park in the grocery store at the parking lot. You got to like clear the spot. Are they out of the way? They get out of the way. You learn to just pull in. They get out of the way now.
Sure.
They're all over the place. They're everywhere.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And so the Hawaiian nene, which is a goose, reminds me of a Canadian goose that was like, get the fuck out of here. Let's fly to Hawaii and hang out.
Let me tell you, if I'm a goose, I'm heading south. I'm heading to the South Pacific and hanging out there. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Right. And that's kind of what these things did. I think they are former Canadian geese that are now called nene.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm flying. I'm just totally pulling stuff out of my ass right now.
I like it. Nene.
Sounds good. But they are nene. They are called Hawaiian nene.
Okay.
I don't know what that means in Hawaiian.
Maybe it means Canadian goose.
Probably means goose. Let's check. What is nene in Hawaiian? There it is. It's easy for me right here.
Hawaiian goose.
Simple.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so it says right here they're endangered. So what these Hawaiian geese, they're popping up all over the place. Check this out, though. They're smart, dude. They have the roosters and hens raising the nenes. Yeah.
Who has that?
I'm sitting there right there in Kauai. They're raising. So the geese are cruising around, like doing their thing, and the chickens are raising the nene, the geese.
Huh.
I saw so many of the baby geese cruising around with the baby chickens.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they're buddies. They're taking over. It's going to be like Planet of the Apes, except it's going to be Planet of the Nenes and Chickens.
Planet of the Nenes and Chickens. They're going nuts over there. I did find out why the chicken crossed the road, though. Want to know why?
Yeah.
To get to Bubba's Burgers, brah. I couldn't help it. There's some Bubba's Burgers there. The chicken was going. I was like, I don't know if it's trying to become a meal or if it's hungry and looking for fries. They also cross the road to get to the beach. So there you go. But they'll walk along the beach. It's a trip. It's kind of like you feel like you're super tropical at that point. You're like, this is crazy because it's kind of like this free for all. They're just, and it does remind me of Jurassic Park. You cruise around Kauai and you just any second in time. We were stuck in a line because they did some road traffic. There was some road construction. We had to stop in this one spot. And it just reminded me like where the telephone poles and the wires were. And I told the girls, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, we're at the edge of the T-Rex pen.
But yes.
And I'm like, any second now. And it was super thick jungle right there. And they were like, be quiet. And I'm like, well, it's not real, but that's where they'd be if they any second now, a Velociraptor just popping out of there, T-Rex something. It's so weird. It reminds me of that when you're driving through there and you think Jurassic Park, you're like, I totally see it. I mean, it helps that it was filmed there.
Yeah, because you're literally seeing where it was.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Kind of cool, but you could see how it could happen.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if they wanted to have dinosaurs and let them cruise around on there, pretty cool.
Well, there's a scene in one of the books. It may be Jurassic Park. It may be a later book where there are all kinds of little dinosaurs at the beach. And when you're describing the chickens walking along, I'm seeing that description. Right. You know what I mean?
I think the chickens are why the nene is probably getting to be endangered. They're raising the nene as chickens. So the nene get super confused and probably attack their own people, their own nenes.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Watch me whip. Watch me nene. Do the stanky leg.
Exactly. Exactly. That came up to me when I first saw that. But then I saw like wildlife in action. So I'm up early in the morning because it's 2 hours behind.
Sure.
So I'm awake. It's like 5:36. Sun's just coming up. Roosters are out there. I'm like, fuck, every day.
Right.
All over the place. They just stand. We're up on the third floor. Luckily, they go down to the first floor condo thing. And they stand right on the guys, like right on the porch, and they're like, just yell. I'm like, dude, if I was that in that condo, I'd be so angry. Anyways, they just sat there and just yelled for like half hour straight. So I see, anyway, so there's this hen cruising around and she's kind of like over in this like grassy area here. I see this rooster just hauling, running, and they run very much like a velociraptor.
Sure.
I think there might be a relationship there some way, somehow. They run. It was freaky. You're like, what?
Uh-huh.
And they're fast when they like this whole like, whoa. It's like a powerful run. It's kind of trippy for a little thing like that. Runs over, and this hen's like, freaks out, flies up in the tree. It flies up the tree. All this squawking going on. They go all crazy. They're running around the tree. They totally fight, and then he jumps on top of her, and he mates her.
Yeah.
Then, around the corner comes the big old rooster from around the corner of the building. Sees this, and he's like, makes some crazy noises, and he runs, and the other rooster like runs away, stands back like 10 feet and like starts like clucking at the ground, like, what's up, right? You know, and like thinking that like nothing. And the other rooster, because clearly that was his hen, ran over and they fully started fighting. And then that one like took off and ran across the other side of the place. We're all right there in like a 10-minute span while I was having coffee. And then I realized they're not relaxed in Hawaii at all.
No.
They're stressed out.
Those chickens are.
Yeah, it was like Outlander.
Yeah.
It all comes back to the red coats and the Scottish. But he just like sat there and like it was crazy because that hen was attacked and that was that guy's hen and he was going to try and kill him and this is all going on and I'm like, shit, this all happened. We're like 10 minutes into the day, man. Like, what a stressful day for them.
Yeah.
And then I'm curious what they do at night. I mean, I know they sleep, but I don't know where they sleep.
I think they watch a lot of Jeopardy.
Probably just to
Chickens
chill out.
are big into Jeopardy.
They're big into Jeopardy.
Yeah.
They must be. I don't know what because they're super quiet.
They like Ken Jennings. I can tell you that right now. They didn't care for Mayim Bialik.
No. Ken. She was controversial. Ken was so heartwarming. No. It was just interesting because I'm like, I don't know what they're doing at night. I don't like, they just get so quiet and you just want to go find them and wring their neck because you know they're going to scream in the morning.
Well, and then you can eat them, right? Are you allowed to kill them and eat them?
I don't see why
It'd
not.
save you a trip to the grocery store.
That's what I thought. I'm like, this is weird that people are buying chicken when it's just right there.
Right
Matter
there.
of fact, I saw a cannibal because we had some chicken tenders and it was sat down on a table there and a chicken came over and took a nibble out of it.
Yeah, I don't care for free range birds. Not that extreme. I don't want them to be that extreme. I don't want them ranging to where I'm trying to relax. No, thank you.
Yeah, super free range.
The freest of ranges.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that out of most, yes, the most free of all chickens.
Yes.
That's like chicken nirvana.
It is.
Yeah, because people actually aren't trying to eat them, except for the cats. There were 2 cats roaming around. This is at a Western resort, dude. The chickens, and then there's 2 cats. Like they hang because they're smart. It's like It's interesting. So I watched the 2 cats come up, and the 3 roosters chase the cats because they're like, obviously, and the cat. It's funny, goes walking out all casual, out in the middle of the grassy area there, and sits there and does that cat thing where they sit and they kind of just lick their paw a little bit, flick their tail, and then kind of look around. And then they just lock in on a bird and then sit there all still like, I'm not staring at you like I'm going to eat you.
Right.
It was kind of fun. Anyways, I just realized super stressful for them. No relaxing there. It's a life and death situation.
That's right.
Every moment.
At all times.
All times.
And you find a girl that you like. You find this hot chick, and all of a sudden the big rooster, that's mine.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Have you seen this Monkey Kingdom show on Netflix?
I have not.
It sounds like your chicken affair.
Not. Monkey Kingdom.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's what it could be called.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Monkey Kingdom. The monkeys themselves are an absolute joy, so compellingly real in personality. Okay. There's a trailer for it. Well, here, what's this? Let's just harder blah, blah, blah. Watch it? They have a great sense of smell.
Do we have to... What are we listening to? Why did it sound like us talking?
I don't know.
Is there something happening up here? Go on to that. No, not that. This. Go on to this.
Right there?
Yes. Let's pause that.
I don't hear it anymore.
That's because I turned it down.
It's not allowing me to pause. Let me go here. Let's try this again.
Oh, because it wants to play that. That's why it stopped, because it wants to play Monkey Kingdom's official trailer.
Yes, I like that. Let's just get into it. Let's go. Why do we not have any sound?
Is it muted?
No, it's playing.
That's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. Did you accidentally click on that and turn that off? One more over.
The Bluetooth?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, it says we're connected.
That's so weird.
That is weird.
Very interesting to me.
Oh, there it is.
I had to do it from there.
Yet lost all our graces.
Oh.
The hounds will stay in shade.
I like that.
Look upon your greatness that you'll send.
That was a mix right there. I want to watch this now. This is
Disney Nature.
This is
invites
yes.
you to meet Maya and her.
Okay, so this is like the chickens in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It is. Oh my gosh. Have you watched this?
They're living their lives.
Their best lives.
They're having the times of their lives.
I had some friends that moved to Costa Rica, and they chose not to go down by the beach. They're living on the monkey trail. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And so they were here, and they said, oh, let's turn on our camera and show you. And their camera shows, like, across from their house. It's, like, literally this gravel road and, like, jungle. Like the jungle. And I was like...
And, like, macaques jumping from tree to tree.
All of a sudden, she goes, it's around that time. She turns it on. She goes, just give it a few minutes. And all of a sudden, you hear this sound, like, welling up in the distance. And then all the little screaming monkeys just... and they're just... And you see them going through the trees. And then, like, 5 minutes later, it's gone. Like, 7 minutes total. Every day they cruise up and down they go up and down the vines to go wherever they're going.
Interesting.
So they call it the monkey trail.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to live on the monkey trail.
It was loud. It sounded kind of fun though.
Yeah, no. No thanks.
In case they just like go sideways on you.
You've seen monkeys are strong.
Very strong.
You don't want a monkey pissed off at you. It's like trying to fight a raccoon. Don't do that.
Yeah, even the little teeny ones.
Yeah.
Super strong.
It's a mistake. Don't do it.
You don't think it would be super cute, though, to have like a little, what are those little teeny monkeys for a little pet?
I'd like a helper monkey. I'm not allowed to have one. It's insensitive.
They're not called helper monkeys.
Bobo, get me a soda. And
mini monkeys breed. What are they? Yeah, like one of those. A pygmy marmoset. I don't know. Like, what's wrong with that? Those are great. The key points. There's actually a thing on this. Oh, it's the smallest monkey on Earth.
Yeah,
5.1 inches, 3.5 ounces.
Yep,
pocket. You can just
they live in the Amazon.
Mm-hmm,
they live in family groups. They're people.
You could bring like a couple of them. Oh, it has great nocturnal vision. Dude, this could be awesome. Let's say you have bad night vision and you're driving. You could just have the monkey sitting on the dashboard directing you as where to go.
Bubbles, tell me where to turn.
Exactly, right? And then it could tell you, because I think that's awesome. You know, you're not going to crash. It makes sense. I like it.
It's interesting that you talk about...
Come on, that thing is so cute.
It is cute. You talk about the chickens getting out in a hurricane. You know, Louisiana has a similar story.
Ooh, with what?
Nutria.
Like the food bar? They're rodents.
They're giant rats.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
There were nutria being farmed for like their coats, the like mink kind of things, right? And a storm came. The legend is a storm came at the McElhinney plantation.
Okay.
And they all got out. That's legend. But there was widespread nutria release, and now they're all over the state.
Wow.
Yeah.
It says right here, it even says, look at California invaders nutria.
Yeah, they're all over Louisiana too.
Dang,
Mm-hmm.
they're so. What do people? What are they? Just a nuisance, or are they just
kind of? Yeah, it's like a giant beaver kind of deal. Except look, they have a rat tail. They're alarming.
That would be scary with those big teeth.
Well, let me tell you,
they bite you?
You're swimming in the river, having a good old time in brown water already because the water's all dirty in Louisiana. Yeah. And one swims by you. That'll stop your heart. I can tell you that right now.
That would freak me out. You're like, hey, what's that?
Yeah.
How big how big would you say they are? Like, are they
I would say
small
the
cat?
size. No, I would say the size of a large dog. They're
Dang,
big.
dude.
They're big.
Wow.
Yeah, they get big.
That's freaky. That's scary. That would freak me out. That would totally freak me out.
I've been sitting on the banks of the Vermilion River in Lafayette, Louisiana, and
nice
seen
name,
one
Vermilion.
come swim right up to me. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Awful.
Did it ask you for directions or something?
No, it just looked at me like there was something wrong with me. Like, why are you there?
Well, it's its river.
I guess.
It was PO'd, dude.
It was PO'd.
You know, they're supposed to say that, I heard that, like, snow is coming tonight.
Here
where we are.
I like snow. Snow is good.
I hate the winter.
Mm-hmm. The slogan that they tried to push in this new Hunger Games movie is "Snow always lands on top."
God,
I didn't like it. That particular line fell flat. Snow always lands on top. Because, his name is Snow. Yeah. Coriolanus Snow.
That's terribly bad and funny and just all kinds of things. But, the winter, so what do you like about the snow?
I like everything about the snow because it's so foreign to me. Because I grew up in the South. I was born in upstate New York. So I remember being little and playing out in the blizzards, right? And building snow tunnels and caves with my cousins. Yeah. But then by 4, we're out, we're gone. And so we were in the South from then on.
But it's in your DNA a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So when I moved here 20 years ago, all of a sudden snow. So yay, fun. And here's the weird part about snow for me. I feel safer driving in it because I feel like it's cushiony. And if we shoot off the road, at least we won't smash into rocks. We'll land in a soft, powdery snow.
I like that thought process.
I don't think it's true. I think we'll die just as badly if we shoot off the road into snow.
I think you have the opportunity to experience more angles when you spin around.
That's true.
Than you might normally. That's all. You might get to spin 3 times instead of just
I'll
once.
tell you the most exciting moment of my driving career was going through Creekstone one day about 12 years ago, maybe longer, maybe 14 years ago now. And that main street down the middle of Creekstone freezes up pretty good. So,
oh gosh,
I look ahead and I'm going like 4 miles an hour, right? I'm crawling.
Yeah.
Right. And I look and there's like a school bus up in a yard and I'm coming up to the roundabout and a school bus is in a yard and across the street, there's another thing like crashed into a fence.
What could go wrong?
And so I'm barely moving at all and I get into the roundabout.
Oh Lord.
And did a full 360 all the way around. And when I stopped spinning, it's because my wheels, kissed the curb right next to the school bus. But I was still in the roadway. So I was able to...
smaller tires, you couldn't just go over it like they did.
Right. I was able to go, oh, okay then. And give it a little gas and... went on my way.
Carry on your way.
But it was alarming to go in a full 360. Oh. The road right there at the roundabout must be low enough that there was some slush the night before. And then it froze up. And so it was a skating rink. And literally 4 or 5 vehicles were up in yards. The only reason I wasn't in a yard is because I was crawling along.
Yeah. And after you went through, the kids were all like, game on. They went back out there and started skating.
Probably.
They were like, probably a little ice skating hockey game.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Otto, the school bus driver.
It must have been at least 14 years ago because I still lived in Kennewick.
Okay.
Because why else at 6 a.m. would I be
awake?
7 in the morning in Kennewick?
I don't know.
I had to live there, I'm sure.
Probably.
Still. Yeah.
You must have. Yeah, there's no other reason.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah, no. The school bus must have come in there hot.
So what I think happened, it must have been like almost 8 because I dropped my kids off at school at Lincoln Elementary and then went the back way out of there.
Okay.
And that's how I got onto that street in Creekstone.
Sense. See, and that's why I don't like the snow. If there was no snow, none of that would have happened. You would have just driven through. Then you wouldn't have a story to tell.
Right. That's right. And once going down... what is the one that's behind where your office was and Lowe's is there? What's that street?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Nobody ever remembers it. I can't remember it.
It goes up the hill?
Not Louisiana. It's something or other. It's whatever.
Colorado,
yes.
So I'm coming down the hill on Colorado.
That one's brutal. It doesn't seem like a lot.
Well, let me tell you something. If you're trying to stop at a stop sign, 4-wheel drive helps you go. It doesn't help you stop.
Oh, no, not at all.
I blew right through that intersection. Slid right.
It's the worst feeling. You just kind of wave at people as you're going by slowly, and the ones that can stop look at you, and they're kind of like give that nod, like yeah, totally get it. Like
that's when I worked.
None of us are driving in control right now. Right. We've got 6,000 pounds at our disposal.
That's when I worked at that group of radio stations in my first 6 months here. So that was 20 years ago, and I went right down that hill, right through the intersection, and slid. Didn't spin around though. Didn't cut the wheel.
Just nice, straight.
Yeah.
Just a slow slide.
I was like on a sled. It was delightful.
That's super fun. See, now that sounds magical.
It was magical.
That sounds...
and I didn't slam into anything, but I really could have, because I blew right through that. And I tried to stop. I was going probably 10 miles an hour, and then I thought, okay, I've got enough room to stop. Wait a minute. What? And kept right on going.
See, that's like when I first started driving it, my very first time in the snow. Like I went really, really slow, but you know how you get that confidence after a while, and you're like,
yes,
whatever.
Yeah. And
so you're cruising along. I remember it was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I had one of those like, oh crap moments. You know what I mean? When you're like coming in way too hot, and you're like,
I'm going through it.
You're like, I'm going to hit somebody right now. Like, here comes an accident. You already know it. The people around you don't know it yet.
Right.
But you're like, well, here we go, folks. You know, surprise. and so you're just, coming into, I was at, over by, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the street now. Edison, over by Edison, over there, like Clearwater and Edison. Coming in, you know, and you're cruising on Clearwater pretty good. And it was slick out and all that. I'm doing like 45. Not the smartest idea. Light turns yellow, and I was like, do I go? So it was that split hesitation. Do I go or do I hit? I better hit the brakes. Hit the brakes. Nothing. But luckily, everybody else, when it turned green, they were going so slow. I kind of just made my way through. It was very close, though. Yeah, exactly. Just meandered my way through, doing the wave. Hey, sorry about that. My bad. You know. But that's the thing about. I don't like the snow, though. I don't like to be cold, though, either.
Yeah, I don't like cold. Cold's
I don't like the
no
cold,
bueno.
But you can't have snow without cold.
That's true.
Unless you're like in Qatar or Saudi Arabia, where they have like the indoor gigantic. You seen this? They have a massive ski hill indoors in Saudi
There's
Arabia.
a mall in America that has one as well.
Oh, that's probably is it the Mall of America?
No, it's not. It's not the Mall of America, I don't think. Ski Hill in Mall.
Oh, the Dream Mall?
Maybe.
Big Snow American Dream?
Yep. Indoor ski slope.
East Rutherford, New Jersey.
There you go.
Well, good on you, New Jersey. Skiing and snowboarding park within the American Dream shopping and entertainment complex at the Meadowlands Sports Complex in East Rutherford.
Pretty cool.
That is super cool. Wow. That's like a thing.
There you go.
My Lord, that's gnarly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoy skiing. I think that's a fun thing to do.
I do like skiing. Here's where I don't mind this. Whoa, there's the ski hill. That's a trip. Okay. So I think the thing is that I like to go to the snow and then I want to leave it.
Right.
Like I love that.
I want to have my hot tub set up where I can watch the snow, but it can't hit me in the head because there's a cover over the hot tub.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. 100%. I like that idea. I think growing up in LA, the thing that I liked is I could go drive out to Big Bear.
Right.
I could ski or snowboard. Then I could come home and I wasn't cold anymore.
Oh, there you go.
I could literally get home at, let's say, like I could leave super early, get home at like 4, jump on my bike and ride to the beach and like
I'm pretty sure
feet in the sand.
I'm pretty sure they did that in the movie Better Off Dead.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
They'd go up into the mountain and ski a little bit and then come home, and the kid was always following him on his bike and he wants his $5. Do you remember that?
Yes. Like
That's
Big
right.
Island, Hawaii, you can go up on the main. There's like a place there, and you can like take your snowboard, and you can snowboard down and then go surf.
That's fun.
It's kind of a trip.
That's Kamanawanalea Mountain.
I believe so. You know, language. Now we're getting into language. You know, so when I was in high school, I took French.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. I don't know how to say very much in French because my whole impetus between growing up in LA, taking French, I had choices between, here's my choices: Latin, German, French, Spanish.
Okay. So you could do French or Spanish. Latin's a dead language. Nobody's talking it.
Nope. You do know the root of most words, though. You can figure out a lot of things.
Sure.
But, that brings up a funny thing. We had in our meeting today, somebody said, what's lorem ipsum? And I was like, placeholder. Anyways, I see it all over the place. What does that mean? I don't know. Anyways, it's a placeholder. I mean,
Semper ubi sub ubi.
Exactly, yes.
You know what that means?
No.
Always wear underwear.
Oh, I like it.
Semper
Okay.
ubi sub ubi.
So
that's Latin.
That's Latin. See? So I take away the Latin and I take away the German, and I have the French and the Spanish left. You would think I would have taken Spanish. That would have actually made a lot of sense.
It would have, yes.
But me, in my brain, I'm going, I'm going to take French because it is the language of love.
It is more romantic.
Very romantic.
And I can get behind their whole kissing style.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sitting there going, okay, so if I take this and then I like see a girl that I think is attractive and I'm interested in getting to know, I could drop a little French on her.
Je t'aime, je t'adore.
Yeah, it didn't work that way at all. So what it turned into is 4 years into French is my French teacher sitting there, Monsieur Lambert. And like, yeah, I know. I'm a failure, complete failure. Meeting with her going, in the 4 years you've been in my class, I'm absolutely astounded at how little you've learned. I was like, because I have zero motivation anymore. I realized the reason I joined this class is completely a farce. Like I had no intention of actually learning the language outside of saying some cool things to like hopefully get a really cool girlfriend.
Right.
And she was like, yeah, your papers sound like it. Because we had to write this big paper, like a 4-page paper, all in French. You come up with the story. So I wrote this story about this guy walking around a lake and about his hat and how the wind blew, because I wanted to make it dramatic, and his hat blew off, and he had this big chase, and his hat ended up in the water, and he picked it up at the end, shook it all off, and all was okay in the world. And that was just a day in the life of this guy walking home from work in France.
That sounds like a fun story.
Ultimately, I drowned him. Yeah. Apparently, he put his hat on, and he was walking under the water, not near the water.
Oh.
And she was like, there's some problems with a couple of your usages. Like major problems. Yeah, made the story really dark.
Here I am doing a happy story about a guy, and now he's walking under the water to his death.
Yes, drowned himself trying to get his hat. I was like, that's not my intent at all. So, yeah. So all I did was walk away with Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Mon petit chou, my little cabbage.
See, I like that.
That's a good one.
I could get away. If I had to go to France, I could find the bathrooms and probably know what to do and not kill myself.
Sure.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But otherwise, complete ignorance.
I know how to find the library in Spanish.
Ooh.
Donde está la biblioteca?
Ooh, I like it. And you say it with such sincerity, too. That's the part that's awesome. Oh, gosh, dude. But yeah, that's... The whole idea of the language for love thing, man, just didn't work out.
Yeah, I think it's good that you tried.
My motivation at that age, though.
Yeah, the things you do for love.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm telling you so when you talk about that, I'm kind of thinking the Big Snow American Dream. This was built out of love.
Every day is a snow day.
Every day is a snow day. Look at the little dude they have.
Yeah,
I like it.
Is he a Yeti? What is he?
He's a friendly Yeti with a buck tooth.
Yeah, one buck tooth.
The hell? You know what corporations do, how they market to us? How do they come up with this stuff? Seriously.
I don't know.
Where did Yeti come from?
Yeti.
Oh, watch. You know what it's going to do? It's going to bring up the water bottles. Oh, nope. It didn't.
Oh, the legend.
Oh, the Himalayan people. Again, I thought it would have been the Scottish. I'm convinced from this show that everything shitty comes from the Scottish.
Oh, okay.
The shitty fluted guy, I'm pretty sure, looked like he was Scottish. And I think
he was wearing a kilt.
I rest my case. They lived a rough life. When I look back upon that, I was like, no wonder. They were like the chickens in the nene in Hawaii.
Right.
Every second, you didn't know if somebody was going to kill you. Stressful.
Stressful indeed.
Super stressful.
And you don't want to be imprisoned by them and forced into gay relations like in the show.
No.
Poor Jamie.
Sounds like the Redcoats had a little higher propensity for that situation.
And I love how that actor, the bad guy actor, is the same actor that's Claire's fiance. Talk about being conflicted.
Right? I know you see that and you're like, how did she not go back in time and be like, Frank?
Right.
John Randall?
Right.
Frank? John? But nobody says the obvious.
No. Same guy.
I'm like, come on.
And then when he showed up on Game of Thrones, that was weird too.
Right?
What's he doing here?
Transported in time. He found his own stones and he went to Game of Thrones.
That's a better place to be. Well, I'm not going to give away any spoilers.
How long has Game of Thrones been out?
Well, it's already had a whole nother series happen.
I know. But I've lost track anymore.
Jon Snow's her cousin.
Snow always lands on top.
Snow always lands on top.
But I think it's interesting, though. You're right. You bring up that point about Mr. Randall and Frank in Outlander.
Yeah, ridiculous.
There's too many unsaid things in that. That show teaches you about poor communication and what it could lead to.
Well,
they cause every single problem that they have.
Right.
Self-inflicted every single time.
Yes.
Poor Frank, he comes back to get the girl. Dad beats him up because he thinks he's this horrible man. All they had to do was communicate.
Right.
I don't know. Interesting to me.
It's nice to talk to people.
It is nice.
That's why we do this show.
That's why we do this show. It's good to talk to people.
We've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes already.
Oh, goodness. My gosh. Sorry to everybody out there. Are your ears on fire or burning? Well, they can fast forward.
They can, find something you want to hear about and listen in.
We should give them a break.
I don't know how to do it.
Let's give them a break.
All right, we'll give them a break. We got to turn on the music again. It's over there.
I need to hit something.
Yep, that's the one.
There it is.
I got to tell you, I enjoy doing this program with you because it's fun. It's, we do it during our work day, which is exciting.
Super fun.
Super exciting to be able to do that during our work day. And talk about stuff that's interesting. Let's hear what he's talking about in the song.
Don't forget that
He knows. Does he know?
when you're
Oh, he knows. You're awake. It's a good cut right there. It's a good cut.
When
Jacob.
you're awake, you're awake. Ignore your hate.
Yes, it's a song of love and peace
I love it.
with a little aggro beat. Yeah.
All right, we'll be back again next week. Talk to you soon.
a generation wrong. It's no surprise that they're gone. And you could